All right, this is part 2 of setting our character up with the animation blueprint. And excuse me, to make all this work together, we have to make some small changes so that our skeleton for our new assets work with all the animations that we currently have for our Unreal Engine character. So we're going to use this animation blueprint. This is what we're looking at right now. And if we take a look at some of these pieces here, we can see there's a lot of different elements that go into this. Some of them seem fairly small, and we're going to end up changing some of these as we go through here. Let's take a look at our content drawer real fast, and we want to find our animation blueprint for variant side scroller. It's going to be inside anims, and right here we're going to make a we're going to click on this, do Control C, and I'm going to go into my Fantasy Rivals pack, which is right here. And I'm going to make a, I want to paste in a new copy of this side scroller. So go ahead and pick that up. And where did my, there we are. All right, I'm going to go ahead and paste him in here. Okay, there's my ABP mini side scroller. And what I want to do is change this so it says Cinti, so we can find it real easy. If you decide to call it something else, I mean, that's cool. It's going to be ABP underscore Cinti for what I'm trying to work on here. If you have a different character that you're going to be using, totally cool. Call it whatever works for you. Actually, I messed that up. It says ababapapapap, but I'll know that this is the one that I'm working with. All right, to change the skeleton that's on here, what you want to do is go over here to your preview settings. Right now it says SKM Quinn simple, and we want to change this out for a different skeleton. Let's see. All right, so if we want to change this one into something else, like we don't want to use Quinn here, we want to use our dummy that we put together. We're going to go up here to class settings, and we're going to the target skeleton. Here we're going to grab our dummy that we've been using. There we go. Compile it. And we probably won't see anything until we restart this one, actually. So if we grab this one, and yeah, it's saying that there's a bit of a control rig issue, but that's why we're actually not going to probably use a control rig. So let me go ahead and get rid of that. And let's see here. That's probably where our warning is coming from up there. I'll have to close this after I save it, and then we should see our character pop back up whenever we open this back up. So oh, yep, it's already there, and it's face down because we have to go in and make some changes on some things here. So first off, what we're going to need to do is go into our animations, and we have to replace some of those. So let's go in here, and we're going to go under our animation graphs, and let's look for all the states. So this is where we're going to see different animations, and under the states, under the rules, this is what switches between different states. So let's start off with locomotion. We're going to go to the idle state. Okay, and right now this thing is running our idle. This is for our Unreal Engine character, and so we're going to go down here to our asset browser, and we need to bring in our own idle that we just have, so just created. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this Cinti idle right here, and I'm going to run this into this space, hit compile. Okay, now we're kind of floating in the air, but I think after we make a few changes here, we're going to be in good shape. That compiled without any trouble. Let's go down to our next state, walk and run. This is where we're going to use our Cinti idle that we just made right here. So here's our Cinti idle. I'm going to bring that in. We do have velocity on this one. This one has direction and a speed. On the since this is the one that's going to be used for our side scroller, they didn't care about which direction they're going. They're not moving in the Y direction, so that would change how the animation works. So in this case, we don't really need that. We're going to go ahead and hook ours up the same way. I'm going to go ahead and put velocity in there. I can get rid of that, and we're going to compile that one. Okay, looking pretty good. Let's go on to our next state. go to our main states here. Locomotion state. That one's going to be okay. It's just going to use a cached animation that it's already have working at the time. Let's look at our jump state. This one is using an old jump, not ours. So let's go ahead and bring in ours. We're going to hook that up. And we can push this one out of the way if we want to, or we can let it run. Either way is fine. Next thing we want to look at, we have our jump, we have our fall loop. That's another state we'll need to replace. Let's see, we have SynthMM fall right there. Go ahead and hook that up, compile it, and it's ready to go. Let's see, next state that we're going to be looking for is land. Let's see, here's our Synth land right there. Hook that up. We can keep them in here. It won't really hurt anything to have them there. And let's see, let's look for any other states. Here's wall jump. And here's our wall jump that we made for our new skeleton. Compile that one. Okay. And anything else? Here's a double jump. Okay, that one just uses a regular jump, so that's not a big deal. Grab our jump, bring it in, compile. Okay, and that looks like that's probably about it. Let's go ahead and compile everything. Now we are seeing an issue, and the issue is with our control rig. Now our control rig is something that we don't really need. This does kind of procedural animation that we're not really going to be touching. So we can probably just delete that. Just going to go ahead and take that out, and then we'll just connect. These are like execution pins right here. We'll just go from our main states to the default slot right into our output pose. This is what we see inside of our main anim graph right here, and this should take care of it. I think, yep, we got it. Okay, this needs to be saved now. And let's just kind of check it out. I'm going to go back to, this is our side-scrolling character. I've already swapped it, the red demon right here. Let's go ahead and change it over. It actually looks like it's working. Let's see. Does it? It still works. Yeah. Let me switch it over to our dummy female real quick. Yeah, she looks like she's doing okay there. Going to go ahead and compile it, make sure everything works. Okay, this is the character that we started off with, and hey, there she is. Yep, looks like everything's working pretty well. Let's check the double jump here off the wall. Okay, good. She does the switch. Okay, cool. Looks good. Now, one of the great things about this is, since the Synthi skeletons work on pretty much everything, you can assign the skeletons in your Fantasy Rivals to work with any of these Synthi skeletons. So if we go into our, I was in my Fantasy Rivals. Let's see, here we go. And if I want to assign a specific skeleton to those rival characters, then I just need to go into the meshes. You want to make sure you go into characters. These new characters right here are trying to use a different skeleton that Synthi sent along with it, which is great. It can help you set up some things like this guy right here. The Mystic has extra arms that are coming off of it. There's some other, another character has some floating stuff, but I think for the most part, I would probably just work with the characters that are over here, and these are ready to be rigged and set to go just pretty much right away. So I think one thing I'd like to do is I'm going to use, why not? I'll use this Egyptian fella right here. It's a physics actor, so I want to get an actual skeleton. Let's see. Where is the version of that guy? Oh, here it is. Okay. So I'm going to right click on him, and I'm going to assign a skeleton, and the skeleton I'm going to assign is going to be the dummy skeleton for right there. Okay, cool, accept. And let's go back into our character here, and honestly we might not have even had to go through all that to change it, but let's see, we got our Mystic there, Spirit Demon. What was that guy called? Not quite sure. It was an Ancient Warrior. Okay, cool. Let's see, Ancient Warrior. Just type that in so we can find it. Ancient Warrior 1. Yeah, let's try that guy. Okay, yeah, there he is. Okay, cool. So now we can start to use more of these Synthi packs. Let's go ahead and play with him in the level. There we go. And we can even have, change. We can have power-ups that change our character. So if for some reason you wanted to change this guy into a big golem, we can do that right now. If you wanted to start using this same animation blueprint to make NPCs, we can start making these characters into enemies, or if you really want to get industrious, some characters that help you. So this is our first little foray into getting set up for a little more personalization and trying to get things to work the way you'd like them to. And I'll keep working on the character pack so you guys can just pull any characters in that you'd like. Okay, hopefully that helps you out, and we'll see you in class.